that would go hand in hand?
I think so.
Okay. Definitely. Alright, that was pretty short and sweet. Now let's look at our school effectiveness. So the overall physical and social emotional conditions that are permeating the building that impact the quality of teaching and learning. So we talked about that earlier with the community. So if we can build that community support, we can build a better environment on campus for our teachers, make our teachers want to stay. Okay. Setting those high expectations, setting ways to build effective relationships with the home, with parents and guardians at home, not just, hey, your kid's acting up in the middle of class. Building the positive relationships. So what are some things that we could do? Where do we want to see our school in 5 to 10 years for communication and how effective we are in their lives? I think for me personally, something that I would want to see is maybe have a incentive thing where we recognize the students at the end of each month saying, hey, we've called home 2 or 3 times and we have had positive reports and we want to celebrate you in front of your students. We celebrate you with your parents, now we want to celebrate you in front of your classmates. So maybe doing something during lunch where they could be recognized, hey, this student did awesome this week, they followed all the instructions, they went above and beyond.
I know at the end of the year we do like our awards at the end of the year, but even if we did quarterly, so that it's not just, oh yeah, it's the end of the year, what do I remember from this whole time?
Okay.
And that could help some get a little bit more like motivation to.
Definitely, a recognized student is a motivated student. I feel like if they get some positive recognition, they get some positive feedback, then they are going to feel more motivated.
I know in the past we've sent notes home to parents, but maybe more of those positive, so the parents are actually getting that in their hands.
Is there a way for, I know we have the parent learning walks, but is there a way that families can interact with the school and have like some sort of fun night or something like that to bring more positive things being at the school? Because how many times are parents, it's just the negative.
Right.
Even if, you know, say I'm calling home for something for good, but if the parents, most of their interactions with the school is not on a positive way.
I think establishing something like that, yeah, I mean, we could do like a movie night for parents during one of the weekends, or a Friday night when we don't have a football game, or even if it is a Friday night where we have a football game, the parents that don't want to go to sit in the stands, they can come here with their younger siblings or something like that and come watch the movies or something. Or just having some showcases of the student work. So if we're writing essays in English, we could showcase some of their work. If the art students are doing a project, we could have some showcases. Alright, so student support. So how do we support our students? Is it more student-centered or teacher-centered?
Most of the time I feel it's more teacher-centered.
Okay, so currently we're sitting more teacher-centered. We all kind of agree on that one, maybe?
Back on board. I'm thinking about like dyslexia, like that's pretty student-centered, but
It's kind of content
varies.
Gotcha.
And weekly dependent.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some ways in 5 to 10 years that we could kind of either balance that out or shift more towards one or the other?
I think as our teachers have more of a hand in the curriculum, they can cater it more to our kids. And again, it goes to that working towards those ends of the spectrum, not just teaching to the middle, understanding the kids that we have and scaffolding, extending based on them.
Alright, moving on. Got 2 more, and then we're going to talk quickly about some other school mission statements, and then we're going to write our own mission and vision. Okay, that's fine. Alright, continuous improvement. So the intentional process and practices in place that are improving our schools. So what are we doing intentionally to improve? So we have our MTSS that we're working on right now. We have our pull-outs that we're doing during advisory. We have after-school tutorials. We have all sorts of things. We have block periods, yeah, we've shifted some of those things. So do we all agree that in 5 to 10 years, if we keep up with that, then we are going to continuously be growing? Okay.
Paying
All right.
attention to our data.
Yeah, pay attention to the data, I like that, yeah.
I've already noticed the group of 8th graders I have this year are way stronger writers than ones my previous year.
Right. Okay. All right, awesome. Well, if we look through some of these, I have gone through and picked a few schools that are in our local area. We have our school, we have Kilgore, we have Nacogdoches, and we have Carthage. So these are some of their mission statements. Take just a brief second and tell me, what do you notice that is different about their mission statement and ours? So our mission statement, we've got right here on the top. And just take a second to see what you think.
Ours and Kilgore's are pretty similar.
Yeah, there is
really close.
there are a lot of similarities on that one. So Kilgore,
I do like how in Nacogdoches they say, where all stakeholders feel valued and accepted. So that pushes it out beyond just the students, but everyone.
Nacogdoches has a lot of specificity. Ours is very vague.
okay.
Because like excellence and integrity is,
Right.
that can mean a lot of different things
Right.
to different people.
It's the same thing we were talking about earlier, like when we were talking about goals. What does it mean to meet your goal? It's different for each person.
And then lessons are containing relevant information of the changing world.
So do we all kind of agree that Nacogdoches has a pretty strong mission and vision?
Yes.
Theirs is great.
Okay. So that's kind of what I want us to work towards. So we have a lot of positive things in that particular mission statement. The other ones are great too, but I feel like Nacogdoches has one of the stronger ones. So how can we go through and come up with a mission statement and a vision statement that kind of mirrors what Nacogdoches is doing, based off of what we've talked about? Yes, please feel free to take part.
Okay, so change it to NSD, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to change our name.
So Henderson ISD will be a place where everyone contributes to the school success.
Yeah, I like that. So what are we going to define as success?
Good questions.
So do we want to,
Yeah, because they kind of define it in the next sentence of leaders, respect, independence, lifelong learners, engaged citizens.
so thinking back on what we've written down so far, we've talked about teacher retention, we've talked about encouraging reading, we've talked about social skills, we've talked about positive communication, showcasing, awarding their work and their stuff like that. So how can do we want to list all of those things, or do we want to list
Probably need to narrow down to 3.
down to 3? Okay, I think that's a great number to sit at. So do we want to focus more on our retention or our students?
I feel like the goal setting one is like pretty applicable to a lot of different things.
Okay.
So like if they're able to like set a goal and accomplish a goal.
Okay.
Work to achieve.
Okay.
I feel like that would be useful.
So I think we want to keep the all stakeholders.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we can say all stakeholders are working towards, you want to say goal setting and mastery?
Are setting and achieving goals.
Ooh, yes, I like that. Okay. What else? Is that our goals?
becoming contributing members to society, like that's one other thing we mentioned.
Yeah, that would be a good one, and that kinda plays into our social skills, so that could be that language, okay? Becoming. What did you say, Miss Hunnicutt?
Sure, becoming contributing members
Contributing, thank you.
of society.
Okay, let's pick one more.
Well, to, like, just like the being the learner, 'cause, you know, as you're learning, you're gonna keep reading, you're gonna keep, you know, growing in that.
So in one of our, I think it's actually ours, our lifelong learners, I mean, do we wanna keep that within our vision?
We
Or
also
our mission?
said something about students being driven to do better, so maybe like, driven to learn more and continue growing, or student driven,
So we could say,
students driven to success or succeeding.
so right now we have all stakeholders are working towards setting and achieving goals, becoming contributing members of society, and maybe you could say driven.
Driven lifelong learners?
Yeah, driven lifelong learners, how do I feel about that? Yeah? Okay. Perfect.
With the drive to be a
Ooh,
lifelong learner.
with a drive to be a lifelong learner, I think I like that. What do you think about that?
That's fine.
Okay, and with a drive to be. Okay, awesome. Alright, so that is our mission, so